This is an absolute heist for the New York Knicks, as many have wondered what the Knicks' next plan is regarding more moves that are coming to this team. And now discussions have hit a new point that has fans absolutely salivating over a perfect move for this team that has a lot of following implications as well. As we know, Leon Rose is very interested in getting the guys who he wants to bring onto this team, his guys in a lot of ways. And for the most part, he's been successful at getting them, whether it's been Mikal Bridges, Karl-Anthony Towns. We've seen the Knicks go out and get guys they've had long-standing interest in. The same thing just happened with Jordan Clarkson, and we know that the Knicks liked Guerschon Yabusele a lot when he was playing over in France. However, they did not have the money to sign him, and Yabusele ultimately, as we know, signed with Philadelphia for 1 year before ending up in New York. Leon Rose has been very good about getting his guys who he wants to add to this team, and with another one who's been out there, a name that we've heard a lot about, now is the time where that situation once again arises itself in the form of Walker Kessler. And guys, before we get into all this, make sure to subscribe if you're part of that 57%. That's not subscribed to Knicks Digest. We got daily videos that you do not want to miss out on, so you stay up to date on all Knicks updates. But with that being said, let's jump into it. There's a lot to go over with this. Look, as mentioned before, we know that Leon Rose wants to get his guys, and Walker Kessler has been one of those guys. That's been no secret that the Knicks like Walker Kessler a lot as a prospect. Now, he's entering a contract year, and many are wondering if the Utah Jazz are going to pay the big man or try to trade him off, as they're still not winning anything. Now, there has been some signs that the Jazz do want to start winning, but their team is not built for any sort of current success whatsoever. I mean, Lauri Markkanen is still there, and he's a solid player, but after that great year, he did sort of kind of not play the same in the last season. He did get a little bit worse, and with a lot of questions surrounding Walker Kessler's future, and the Utah Jazz having held on to players for too long previously, there is a lot of talk surrounding Kessler leaving. And we know the Knicks, they want to be able to bring multiple guys onto the team, and there is a way to do that. Now, it was mentioned by Ian Begley that Malcolm Brogdon's deal with the Knicks is non-guaranteed. He will obviously get strong consideration for the final roster spot, while Landry Shamet will also get strong consideration for that spot. If the Knicks don't make a trade, they will have to choose between the two vets, and the Knicks have been looking for a backup veteran point guard for a while, and obviously got one in Brogdon. However, as Bondi mentioned, as Stephen Bondi said, people around the league are expecting the Knicks to make a move to have space to either keep Brogdon and one of Landry Shamet and Garrison Matthews. So there's been a lot of discussion surrounding this, and this is where things get very interesting, because Begley also mentioned that trading either Pacome Dadier or Miles McBride would clear enough cap space to sign both Shamet and Malcolm Brogdon. There are other combinations of players the Knicks could trade to create the space to add both veterans, but those two are being mentioned because it would be the most direct path for the Knicks to take on if they wanted both vets. An update at 4:37 p.m. on Saturday is that the Knicks could also trade Tyler Kolek to have enough space under the second apron to sign both guys, both Brogdon and Shamet, but trading Kolek and signing both vets would leave New York at just $44,000 under the second apron. Unless they made another trade in this scenario, they won't be able to sign another veteran on a pro-rated contract during the season. New York used that approach last season when they signed veteran PJ Tucker in March. So, with that being considered, there is a lot of discussion on what the Knicks are going to go out there and do. And one of the big friends of this channel, Knicks Feed, did say on Twitter that he's calling it now. The Knicks are trading for Walker Kessler in a 2-for-1 deal. There's been a lot of discussion, and it's really come back. As Knicks Feed is predicting, it will involve Deuce and Mitchell Robinson getting moved. Now, obviously, there's a lot to go over with this situation, because you look at a trade, you can't exactly do a 2-for-1, but you can, for all intents and purposes, do it. The Knicks don't really have first-round picks that are too valuable to trade right now to the Utah Jazz, but if they do give Mitchell Robinson a handful of second-round picks and Deuce McBride, things actually do make sense. The Jazz do keep a rim-protecting big while they send one off to New York at the same time, and they also get Deuce, who's really the winner there of that trade that the Jazz are trying to make, as they get a new combo guard who could play both the 1 and the 2 and is a very, very pesky defender, so they do get to replace Colin Sexton in that right, while Walker Kessler and Kevin Love get traded to New York. Love is known to live in New York a lot. He lives throughout the offseason. He lives in New York, so we know he likes it here. He works out with Chris Brickley a lot as well, and then the Knicks finally get their guy in Walker Kessler, which also is a huge addition there. Now, Kevin Love has to be in this trade for it to work, which is why we find him there. But the real piece of this trade the Knicks would be acquiring is Kessler, who in 30 minutes per game last year put up 11 points and 12 rebounds per game. He got 1.7 assists, blocked 2.5 shots, and got a steal, finishing with 3 stocks. And just overall was an excellent defender who shot 66% from the field. Kessler would fit in with the Knicks perfectly, adding a big man to a team that would really have a lot more consistent help. Imagining that Mitchell Robinson, who spent a lot of time injured, that wouldn't be a fear because you'd have Walker Kessler now, so things would change very quickly. Now, at the same time, the Knicks do trade away Deuce in this situation, who put up 9.5 points per game, 2.5 rebounds, and 3 assists, shooting 41% from the field and 37% from 3, with 39% on corner threes. Deuce recently turned 25 years old and has shown that in larger roles he absolutely can perform. But with the Knicks, especially now with all the guard depth, it does make some sense if he was sort of interested in going somewhere where he would have a better chance of playing time. The Knicks also would be acquiring Kevin Love and would have to decide if they want to keep him or just buy him out off of his contract. Love, I imagine, would be happy staying with the Knicks. It feels like he's probably going to sign with the Lakers so he can play with LeBron. I would not at all be surprised if this is Kevin Love's last year in the NBA. He only played 11 minutes per game last season, putting up 5.3 points and 4.1 rebounds per game. He shot 58% of his shots from behind the arc and only put up really around 36% from 3 and 35% from the field. Love still adds good things to teams and very much is a good energy guy to have. He's an NBA champion. He's really loved around the NBA. He's just an awesome guy. Kevin Love absolutely rocks, and teams would like to have him for the veteran leadership that he brings, and also a consistent three-point shooter as well at the end of the day, or a somewhat consistent three-point shooter at the end of the day, who does still add some value to teams. Now, the Knicks, they would have to decide if they really want to keep Kevin Love or if they want to go in a different direction, and obviously that would be something to decide on. They could use the forward depth, so it actually does make some sense, but at the same time, it makes all the sense in the world to just, buy him out, $4.2 million down. That's done because you get it back in the buyout, and then all of a sudden you have the money to sign both guys. From there, what you do is Kevin Love goes off, signs with the Lakers for a year, plays in LA for the first time since college, and then the Knicks can sign both Malcolm Brogdon and Landry Shamet, and all of a sudden their problems are solved. So it is a realistic situation that we have to look at here. Obviously, it would suck to lose Mitchell Robinson, the longest-standing Knick, who did play very well in the playoffs, putting up 7.1 rebounds, 4.7 points, and getting a steal per game as well, being a huge impact player. The Knicks would not have won that Boston Celtics series without Mitchell Robinson. They wouldn't have won the Pistons series without Mitch. Mitch was consistently one of the best players in the playoffs with the Knicks, and he's just been an absolute force for the team for a while. However, with the injury concerns, the Knicks being solely focused on winning a championship and needing to use that contract in order for the Knicks to make this trade and bring in Walker Kessler, we all know that Leon Rose would end up doing that in a heartbeat. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go Knicks.